All right, little white lie. I forgot about my little small pieces here, and I also noticed I've got a couple little issues back here. This face should not be poking out like that. It's not really a big deal, but it's like we lose all of this available space for packing because of that one little face. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut these edges. And we can select, you can see it'll light up. Where's the, okay, right up there. So because the edges again are, there's always going to be two if you're on a border. We'll go ahead and you can see where it's going to go, and it will, when you use the move and sew, my assumption is it just moves the smaller shell to the larger shell. I never asked anybody, but that seems to be the behavior. So I'm going to go ahead and select those edges, and I'm just going to tap the G key, and there we go. All right, and then I've got this problem here. So let me get this out of the way. So what's going on is we basically have a texture border inside a UV shell, which is an indication generally that some of your verts are not welded. So I just did a shift select. Looks like I grabbed somebody in the front of the object there. So I'm just gonna, with these verts selected, you can go to Mesh, Tools, and then let's see, Merge to Center. And then, but my UVs here are still going to be separated. So I have to come over here, and because when I created this UV shell, I was using the camera base option. It just didn't weld those because they weren't, it wasn't legal to weld them because the verts weren't welded. So if I just come over to cut and sew and then merge, you can see, voila, everything is looking better there. Okay. Maybe it's worth doing a little bit of a pinning operation on this stuff. Let's just try it. So we'll go to select, convert selection to UVs, and then understand that someplace else, some other UV shell is going to be lit up as well. So I can flatten that stuff. I'm going to pin it, grab all of these faces, and we'll do an unfold. And then I'm actually going to do the same thing over here. Once I confirm, so maybe not this stuff, but those guys, that can be a little bit, this can be a little bit straighter. Convert selection to UVs, go find wherever else is selected, right there. Okay, we'll go ahead and straighten that stuff and pin it, and then hit unfold. So you can see we just get a much more consistent behavior there, which I am fond of. I'm going to grab these guys, do the same move. So that's like on the outside there. I guess I've only got to do one set at a time. And because these are internal, we don't actually need to worry about converting them to UVs because there isn't another set of textures somewhere. So I can pin that one, and then I don't think I want these. And pin that, and we should get just a little bit more. Yeah, very nice. And again, none of these smaller little faces here have collapsed. That's just something you got to kind of be conscious of. I think that the size that I'm seeing here is fairly accurate. Okay, we can go ahead and unpin all. Yay, that looks cool. All right. So let's go ahead and grab the aimer here. I'm going to isolate this geometry. We'll just get everything kind of lined up. Do camera based. So the first thing I'll do is separate off the ends of the cylinders. So we'll do a little cut there. And then I'm going to put a cut along the bottom of the cylinder where hopefully nobody will ever see it. And then I think I'll just separate the back from the front. Kind of like this. And we'll do a cut. So yeah, great. And then all this stuff, I can see actually I have somehow, it looks like I might have fat fingered my my selection here. So we'll just go ahead and grab these guys. And I think move and sew might work. No, we'll just go to the UVs. It's also possible in here that I have an unwelded vert. That's kind of what it looks like now that I'm looking at it a little bit more closely. So we can go to edit mesh and then merge, yeah. And then same thing over here, jump into the UVs. I'm just going to select all this stuff, even though I know that the issue is probably that one. Okay, beautiful. All right. So that has been resolved. We'll grab all this stuff, do an unfold. And you can see that this one looks very, very strange, because I'm basically asking all of these side faces to unfold without giving them a little bit of a break of where they can do that. So let's go ahead and help them make that decision. So if I add a cut there, what we will see, hopefully, is a lot more relaxation. So if you make a cut and you do an unfold and you don't see a big difference, undo the cut, you didn't really save much. But if you see a big difference, that means you probably just relieved a lot of pressure. This isn't really necessary, but I'm just going to do an experiment here. Not unfold, I meant to do a cut. And then unfold, yeah. So that's kind of what I'm talking about. And you know, you've also got to make a decision, like how much detail is there going to be in this area? Probably not a whole lot. And am I that worried about those seams being visible? I am not worried about the seams being visible. So that's fine, like whatever, that one's kind of arbitrary. In fact, it's probably not really worth doing. But now that they're unfolded, I can actually come in and do a move and sew and actually end up with something that might be a little bit more or a little bit less distorted. And if there's ever any question about the distortion, all you got to do is turn on your squares. And so we can see here, that is a very significant amount of distortion. And it's just not really going to hold the textures very well. There's going to be a lot of like unpleasant visual artifacting going on. So what I'm going to do here, I think I'll just cut it there. So we can try and unfold on that. That looks much happier, and that looks much happier. Great. So for the low cost of one extra shell, which isn't very expensive, we go ahead and get basically a distortion-free arrangement, which is kind of what we're looking for as our first priority. Obviously there are others, but there we go. Okay, so let's see. We've got the slot low. Let me go ahead and we can take a look at these guys. This will be pretty easy. So we'll just do camera based, unfold. Try to make them vertical here. And then what else do I have? My cylinders. Same thing. Camera based, unfold. All right, so that is actually all of the UVs done there, I think. So if I select everything, I'm going to go to my arrange and layout. In fact, you know what? We're getting pretty close to 10 minutes here, so I'm going to go ahead and stop it, and we'll hit this next very exciting step in the next video.